Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Let's pick up from where we stopped. Uh, the last point we talked about was maintaining proper people skills. Okay, next point. If the head is not right, the body won't be right. Proverbs 29:12. When a leader listens to malicious gossip, all the workers get infected with evil. Leadership is headship. Now, when you look at the analogy with a human body, if the human body, if we are physically very strong, right, very strong, fit, uh, but if the mind is disturbed, what will happen? Right, the person will just break. And think of this: we have some of the greatest athletes, sports, sports athletes, people who have reached the highest level of competition and won. Okay, their fitness level is very great, very strong physically, but emotionally they're hurt, or in their mind there's a lot of confusion. So here's the thing: if the head is not right, the body also won't be right. And physically you're fine, but if your mind is clogged with a lot of the things of this world, then motivation goes, the leader becomes weak, and when the leader is weak, the team becomes weak, and there's no productivity, right? If the head malfunctions, the rest of the body are effective. Sometimes it is completely incapacitated. That means what? Example, think of this: a person can be a great athlete, but if he has, some problem in his brain, what can he do? The body itself can't move. Hey, but I've been an athlete for 20 years. Doesn't matter. If there's a problem here, body won't work. Okay. So, what does it teach us? As a leader, there must be a strong sense of protecting ourselves, keeping check on ourselves to make sure we are staying right. As leaders, we need the right kind of people to speak into our lives to keep us on track. Right? The right kind of people, people who you can, take advice from, people who you can, uh, you know, uh, uh, I wouldn't say mentor, but also people who can talk to you, people who can give you some good advice for what you are doing. Demonstrate, emphasize, empower, and celebrate honesty. Uh, in a world today, honesty is risky. Leaders must protect people who are honest, celebrate people who work hard in your organizations. They've been honest in their work, honest in their, whatever they're doing, whatever has been assigned to them. Empower honesty, honest people, give them opportunities, give them leadership opportunities. Uh, Similarly, as a leader, some people will, may hate your honesty, or some people will stand by you, right? No matter what, whether people like it or not, we are called to stay honest, and to be always honest. Your attitude wrecks or invigorates. People tolerate or celebrate your attitude. Attitude is quickly noticeable. Your attitude affects uh, others whether you like it or not. And your attitude is noticeable. And I'm sure you've heard this saying: your attitude will determine your altitude. That means how high you go, right? Your attitude either refreshes and inspires, or dampens and kills people's spirit. Refreshes or inspires, dampens or kills. One of those two, right? People tend to avoid you the best they can, or simply tolerate your bad attitude. They celebrate you and enjoy being around you. They come to draw inspiration and encouragement from you. So have a great attitude. What about at times which days are very difficult, difficult days, and you don't feel like having a positive attitude? Right? It's hard. But remember, as a leader, If you come with a bad attitude, it'll just flow through you and go to the team. So one person in the team may be very excited to work, but if they see a bad attitude and that is flowing through the leader and it's coming, he also loses his interest to work. Right. So I think as leaders, we must learn to self-govern there again, right? Tell ourselves, okay, things are not working out the way I wanted to, but I've got a team with me and I need to encourage them. I need to keep pushing on. So Lord, help me to change my attitude. Go back to God, pray, ask God to envision, to reiterate that vision, to ignite that fire inside you, to understand that okay, I need to walk in Christ-like attitude in a way that can be beneficial to my people, to my team. Right? Be real, down to earth. Avoid pretense. Leadership is not show business. A leader is not a superhuman. A leader will make mistakes, and mistakes are part of the journey. You can have a person who's in ministry for 50 years, right? He knows the Bible in and out, but he makes mistakes, right? Sadly, when people look at leaders, they think, okay, this guy is a perfect person. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes, right? We all go through those mistakes. We go through the consequences of these mistakes because we are normal people. We are real people. We are not. We don't have angel wings. Um, but even when we make mistakes, it's very important to be accountable and say, "Yes, I made a mistake." Go back to God, ask for forgiveness, and then look ahead. There are changes that need to be made. Make those changes because they're people. Leaders are people, right? Leader is not fallen from heaven. He's a person. He or she is a person. So be approachable. Uh, be a person who can people can come and talk to you. Right? It's okay to laugh. It's okay to smile. It's okay to cry. It's okay. Nothing wrong. Many times, as a leader, what I do is I go to my room, cry, cry, pray. Come out of the room. You're like a lion. But when you go to God, oh God, this is these are things I need to work on. This is crying and praying, and we come out of the room. Okay, head held high, chin up. We walk. Right? There are times we will make mistakes, and we just have to deal with it. And go back, and God in His grace will forgive us and tells us to continue. Yeah. So hold to high standards in these areas, and yet be a normal person. Right? Be careful of familiarity in the wrong sense, where people no longer take you seriously. You know what the problem was with Saul? People stopped taking him seriously. And what will happen is, if people stop taking you seriously, your words will not mean much. Don't be talking every time as a leader. Learn to keep quiet. Right? As a leader, don't just say whatever comes to your mind, because that can be some of the most foolish thing that has come to our mind. And if we say it out, it's worse. So we learn to, uh, you know, be very careful with what we say. Okay. Be what you want your team to be. Lead by example. And we saw this in the life of Nehemiah. He was an exemplary leader. And during this time, Nehemiah chose voluntarily to stay away from the privileges that the governor had given him. So what we notice is that Nehemiah could have told everyone build the wall, and he could have gone and sat in the temple, in the palace, and said, every now and then come and see the wall. Okay, good, you're making progress. pay them, and then go back. He didn't do that. What did he do? You've seen those people that do that now, right? They come, they'll see, okay, everything, oh, and they'll go away after 5 minutes. Nehemiah didn't do that work. He was there. He chose, he said, don't give me any of that good food of the palace. Don't give me those AC rooms in the palace. I don't want anything now. I will stay with my people. I will build this wall with my people. And even though I am, I have those benefits, I don't want those benefits because I want everything to be equal. And this spoke the loudest. Nehemiah's life, your life example speaks the loudest. Right? Now, it doesn't mean because my life example speaks the loudest, I don't make mistakes. Yeah, I make mistakes, but you accept those mistakes, learn from it, and move on. Right? And you will see that your life speaks the most. People will watch you. People will watch how you are as a person, right? How you walk. Have you seen people who are walking, they look everywhere and walk? Nothing wrong if that's your habit. You don't need to. I mean, for me, I can't. I just have to go somewhere, look there, go there. Right? It's very simple. Uh, your life speaks more than your sermons. What kind of relationships you have built? If you're leading a church, what kind of church, what kind of community you have built? It's all about how you have led it. Preaching will help, the word will help. But if you're preaching a powerful message and being an arrogant person off the stage, you will have an arrogant church. That's all it will be there. Everyone will be like that. If you're speaking a powerful message, but everyone are backbiting, there's jealousy, there's hatred within the community, that's what will happen. So let your life speak the loudest. So that when you preach the word, it's backing up your life. Okay? Get the facts first, then act. Proverbs 13:16. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays open his folly. Sometimes, as leaders, we tend to depend on our gut feeling. We tend to do what we feel is right and what we intuitively think is right. It is so much better to get the facts right and then arrive at a decision. Use the right information, use the data where available. No, for example, if you want to do a conference, right, in another city, you have a gut feeling. Should I do it or no? Should I do it or no? And you're thinking about it. Right? Now, one good way to decide it is if you know people in that place, talk to them. Hey, what do you think? Can we do this kind of conference? Two, find out the costs. Use data. Okay, do you have the cost to do this conference? Right? Get the facts. So for example, we want to go to Varanasi and do a conference. We can't. We can't now. Right? So we have to get the facts right. You can't say just because my gut feeling is I want to do a conference in Varanasi, I'll go. You can't. Your gut feeling could be wrong. Right? So get the facts right. But there are times those gut feeling will be right. And it's really the Lord just stirring your heart and saying, do this. And if it's the Lord, He will open the right doors for that to happen. Right? But we cannot go by the gut feeling every time. We cannot go by that every time. Sometimes you have to get facts. Okay, if I'm doing this conference, I am spending so much money. And these are the number of people who can come for the conference. Do you think in this summer season, in the hot season, people will come? Or maybe this is exam time. If we do the conference now, many parents may not be there. Get facts right. Right? We need to think about all those things also. Example, we were supposed to do our worship evening at APC East. Supposed to do it in March. So something kept telling me, my kids have exams. Right. So I'm sure other parents, they'll also have exams. Just because I want to have worship evening doesn't mean you go and have it. So I said, okay. So I messaged everyone. I have a small team. Messaged everyone, said, do you think we can have worship evening in March? Everyone said no. Why? Because kids have exams. They're all preparing for exams. Can we move it to end of March? Okay. So everyone's exam gets over end of March? Yes. So one side of the data you got. Right. Okay. March, middle of March, not a good idea to have it. Right. Because parents will concentrating on the children and their exams and all. So I thought, okay, let's do it in April first week. So everyone are free. Some of them said, but April, holidays start. Parents will take their children and go for holidays. I said, okay, that is secondary. Right? That exam important, okay. People travel also, okay. But not everyone will travel. So we'll do it April first week. So some decisions, you make it. Then, okay, so apart from this, what do I need? I need, okay, data. So I need the people's names and numbers who I can connect with, outreaches, social media platforms, social outreach teams, worship team to lead the whole worship evening. So all of these things, right? Get facts, then act. Give honest feedback. Sometimes correction and feedback has to be timely. Give it when you notice it. Sometimes immediately. Don't wait for a full year or 6 months, right? When feedback has to be given, you give it immediately so that it can be worked upon. Providing timely feedback enables people to correct themselves immediately and hence make improvements if in the work they are doing. So that is why here in APC, I think all of us, right, as leaders, if a person is not doing something right, immediately we tell them, right, so that they improve that, right? They learn, okay, this is something I should not do. So next time I'll do it a different way. Uh, don't waste your words on the inattentive. Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 12. A warning given by an experienced person to someone willing to listen is more valuable than gold rings or jewelry made of the finest gold. Correction, sharing of knowledge and experience with those who are willing to listen is worth the effort. If I if a leader is correcting somebody and that person I can see is changing and he's correcting themselves, it's worth the effort. But if I'm bringing correction to somebody and that somebody is, I'm not seeing any improvement or there are no efforts towards improvement, at one point you may have to step back and say, okay, I because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of resources. You can, I'm sure you've heard this saying, you can take a horse to the water, you can't make it drink. We can correct, give feedback, all right? But if people are inattentive, they don't want to take feedback, don't want to work on that feedback, don't let your words just go out simply. Just leave it. Just take a step back, right? It doesn't mean you don't care for the person. You still care. You probably can pray for them, right? But you're not wasting your time and your energy on that person anymore, right? Because whatever has been shared, there is no improvement there. Okay. Guard against greed. Demonstrate contentment without complacency. Proverbs 15:27. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. Guard against greed. Greed can, you know, really bring a person down, can bring an organization down. Greed for money, greed for fame, greed for power, greed for influence, all of these things. As a leader, you have a position where people look up to you, you have access to finances, people, and other resources. When leaders fall into greed, they ruin not only themselves, but the organization itself. Greed can cause leaders to make decisions out of selfish interests. So guard against greed. Learn to walk with contentment. There's a verse that says, uh, Godliness with contentment is of great gain. Now, there are many examples of, let me take Christian leaders itself, Christian ministries, where leaders who have started well, their own ministry, the church has grown, but as the church has grown, money is coming in. And because of that, there was too much of greed. Right? And because of that greed, they have made wrong decisions, which has completely destroyed the church. Financially, you know, the government asked them, "What are you doing with your finances?" And they looked up. So many of it was all, they have not followed protocols. The leader has bought, maybe two, three private jets, huge, two, three mansions, and they said it was gifted to him. But when they dig deep, they saw all of it was church money. Right? What happened? Greed. And because of that, a church, one of the churches that I read the articles, and a church of about 15,000 people came to almost 1,000 people in 3 months. Why? The leader was caught in a scandal of money. He wanted more and more. Already they had private jets and all of this. Suddenly the tax department called and said, "We are doing this thing upon your ministry. We want to know what's happening." Found out, dug deep, all this that he used was church money. It was not used for ministry, it was used for his personal gain. Bought it on the church, but he's using it as a leader. Church who have people who have earned hard earned money by faith, they have taken it, put it in the offering, saying it, let it be a blessing to God, God's kingdom, and let it be a blessing to them. Hard earned money of people they've taken and bought private jets, mansions. Ministries come down to nothing. And then there are other ministries where leaders wanted to always have control and influence. So because of that, many of them in the church understood that, okay, this person doesn't want to give leadership to anyone else. He's only thinking of himself. What happened? Became a problem. People started leaving church, right? The committee started questioning him. Why are you not raising up leaders? Why are you not doing anything additional? Why is this happening in the church? Why is there fear inside the church? Why are you always condemning people and rebuking people? Once a while is okay. Every time you're doing that, so that became a problem. That church, which was about 25,000 people, now I think is about 500 or 600 people. That was one of the fastest growing church in the early 2000s. Now, a few hundreds are sitting in the church. He's still doing ministry, still preaching, but a few hundreds are sitting in the church. From 25,000 to nothing. So here's the point, right? Guard yourself against all of these things. Greed. Stay away from women and wine. Two other things that have brought down great leaders: women and wine. And for women, it can be men. Guard against these. If you, right, always maintain a healthy distance. Find ways to enjoy life. When you're socializing with other leaders, for example, you're in a workplace, you have to go for maybe a team party or something. Go, but hold yourself accountable to who you are and what you're doing, right? um, Stay away from things that can really crush you and crush ministries. Lastly, stay God controlled and God directed. Proverbs 21 and verse 1. Good leadership is a channel of water controlled by God. He directs it to whatever ends he chooses. Right? Stay God controlled and God direct. Stay yielded and surrendered to God. You are here to release His purposes on earth. Stay open to God. Let His purposes be released in you and through you. Right? So these are just a few principles on leadership, but there's so much you can talk about in leadership. Yes, right? So much. But remember, even as you take on leadership, it's exciting. It's not fearful. Don't be fearful. Don't feel, oh, what if I become a leader? What if I fail? No. If God is opening doors of leadership to you, take it up, be encouraged, learn from your mistakes. When you fall, rise up again, stand up again, and continue to do the work of God, right? And there's so much that's available online, books that are there. Go read, right? Learn about leadership, watch people, learn. If you're watching people and you see, okay, this is something that I will not do as a leader, make a note of it. Or this is something that I will do as a leader, make a note of it, right? But learn leadership, right? There is a spirit of leadership in all of us. All we need to do is take it, build on it, develop it, and grow. Okay? So how does it start? Start now. Look at yourself as leaders now. Joseph probably saw himself as a leader even while he was in the prison. Now, one day I'll come out. I know God showed me a dream that these people will bow down to me. My brothers will bow down to me. I don't see it happening. It's still a dream. No. Probably Joseph thought to himself, one day I know I will come out of this prison and I know that I will become the leader that God wants me to be. Moses, he knew he has to lead the people out of Egypt. He made a mistake. He took things into his own hands, killed the Egyptian, had to run away from his life. God still looked at Moses and said, Moses, you're 80 years old. Are you ready to go to Egypt and take my people out of there? Moses said, no, I'm not ready. No. You don't understand. That one mistake doesn't cut you off as being a leader. Last 40 years, even though you were looking after sheep, I understand it was difficult for you, but you are still a leader. And I've still got a plan and a purpose for you. Right? David, God has anointed you to be a leader. What are you doing? Looking after sheep. Just a shepherd boy. That's okay. Okay, David, you killed Goliath, but now you're running away for your life. You're hiding in caves. That's okay. There'll come a time I will sit on the throne with all my, in my kingdom, the kingdom of Israel. I'll sit on the throne. I may not see it now. I see it in the future. Right? So you see yourself now as a leader and envision that in the future and work towards that. Okay? So we'll stop here and we'll pick up from the next chapter next class. Right? I know there's about 20 minutes left. So just take this time to probably read right? Just read and we'll pick up from next class. Right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Any questions before we close? No questions? Okay. All right. God bless you all. Have a great week ahead.